We see a slight change and shift in people getting vaccinated. Why do you think there's a hesitancy amongst younger people to get vaccinated?
There's several reasons for that, without a doubt. One of them is the older folks are more worried about it because they're more likely to die. And this is the same group of folks who are more likely to get the flu shot. So they're kind of ready to protect themselves. And so for people 65 and older, we do a pretty good job. The other thing is that for young folks, the vaccine wasn't really available in the worst part of COVID through the winter. And so they didn't have that chance when people were worried about it. And now people think incorrectly that COVID may be over. It is not over. We're in the midst of another surge because of Delta, and it's important for everybody to go ahead and get vaccinated. The other thing is a lot of younger folks don't think Delta is important to me or that COVID's important for me. That's another person's vaccine, and that's not true. We have quite a few kids. We have young children as low as under a year old in the intensive care unit because of COVID. And these aren't kids necessarily with underlying medical issues. They're just normal, healthy kids who just got sick from COVID. So it's not as common as older folks, but it's still really dangerous. And we also know that you can get long COVID that'll affect your memory and maybe your mental function long term from COVID. So the vaccine is your pathway because it's going to keep you from having these problems.
When we think about ways to access the vaccine, what are some of the ways we can assist in making sure that everyone gets it?
Yeah, the vaccine is so very available pretty much everywhere. Look at your community health centers. We know we've got those all over the place. If you go to vaccines.gov, you can actually choose what vaccine you want to get, and it'll show you all the different pharmacies in your area that offer them. And if you look, you'll be surprised how many places. The county health department in most places has the vaccine available. And on the 19th of July, every county health department will have COVID vaccine available. This is not even to mention the hospitals and the other private clinics that have it. It's everywhere. And we even have a program through the Department of Health where we will help sponsor a vaccine drive if you want it. So let us know, and we'll send a team out to do it at a church or at a community event or a park, whatever you want to do. The COVID vaccine is more available than ever. And keep in mind, most of the times it's free, especially if you go to a health department location. We never charge for COVID vaccine. So go to the county health department for sure, but also go to vaccines.gov and you'll find tons of options.
Mississippi is one of the states that are low in numbers of fully vaccinated people compared to the rest of the nation. How do you see the next few months playing out?
I think we're going to have a rough couple of months, especially as we try to get back to school. We're all in this together, whether we like it or not. And too many people think about this as a me thing. I'm not worried about me. I don't want to take the time to go get the shot, that sort of thing. But we're all dragging ourselves down together because we're going to have outbreaks. We're going to have school closures. We're going to miss football games. If we look at other states that have done a good job of all their folks getting vaccinated, they're not having these problems. And if we would get about another million folks vaccinated, we could say, at this point, COVID's pretty much over for us. But it's a choice. It's a choice that we make for ourselves. It's a choice we make for our community. And each person who chooses not to get vaccinated is contributing to the challenges, contributing to the problems that we're going to have over the next few months.
What can you say to those who feel like the effectiveness of the vaccine is not up to par or still have those wandering thoughts in the back of their head?
Yeah, it's such a very effective vaccine. It's so much better than the flu shot. It's way better than we had hoped for, even for the Delta variant, almost 90%. And then, but if you do get it, it keeps you from getting really sick. So it's super effective. Right now, 93% of all our deaths are unvaccinated, right? So it does work. 95% of all our new cases are unvaccinated. The vaccine does prevent illness. It prevents death, pretty much almost all the time if you look at the people who are getting sick. The other thing is it's extremely safe. All people have to do is hear fear and they can't get it out of their head. There is no infertility issue with the vaccine. That's made up. That's not true. So that's not a problem. And other people worry it was done too fast. It was done efficiently, but not because they skipped steps, but because we invested at doing all the things at the same time. We were doing the production while we were doing the research so that when the research was done, we would have the vaccine ready to go. Obviously, we committed a lot of effort to try to make sure that we were successful, and we've saved many hundreds of thousands of lives in our country because of this vaccine. It's really been fantastic. And we don't want any more Mississippians to go through the death or misery or lose family members because they don't understand how important it is to get this highly effective and extremely safe vaccine. I've taken it, my wife's taken it, I've given it to my kids because I want to protect them and protect our family.
Do you think the CDC will make its approval sooner than later? Or do you think that's just up in the air?
You know, FDA approval, they usually like to watch it a little bit more, but they've watched it plenty long enough. And so I'll have to confess that I'm a little bit perplexed by the delay. I think that maybe they don't understand the urgency. You know, this is something that I look at every day. We look at the potential side effects and what's going on, and it's so very safe. If people are telling you that the COVID vaccine's killing people, they're wrong. They're getting information from incorrect sources. Have there been a handful of deaths from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Yes, very small because of that weird blood clot thing in the brain. But, you know, other than that, these vaccines are extremely, extremely safe. And I look forward to, hopefully in the very near future, FDA full approval. But I'm telling y'all, don't wait until it's FDA approved and then get COVID. The risk is now. And every day you wait, you put yourself and your family at greater and greater risk. If you do get COVID, make sure you talk to your doctor, because there is a treatment, a monoclonal antibody treatment, basically, that will help keep you from getting hospitalized, or it'll also lower your risk of death. So especially if you're an older person, or if you have any medical issues whatsoever, talk to your doc about the antibody treatment, because it will keep you out of the hospital up to 90% more than people who don't get it. So keep that in mind. Talk to your doc about antibody treatment if you get COVID.
Thank you, Dr. Dobbs. And for more information on vaccines and COVID-19 updates, please visit the CDC's website.